Sometimes when I'm up and I get knocked back down, I gotta search for my feelings just like a pat down. And when I hear you ain't loyal, I don't like that sound. And you done burnt all them bridges, don't you come back round. Sometimes when I'm up and I get knocked back down, I gotta search.
It's your boy Noto, back in these YouTube streets because your boy won't miss a beat. And in today's video, we're going to discuss why attractive men don't get a lot of women. So I came across some clips that I want to play for you guys, and they're going to explain one point pretty much in their way, and we're going to come back and we're going to chop it up.
They were not lying when they said the more attractive you are, the less women you actually pull. You think it's TJ based? That makes no sense. Logically, that's like saying, since you work out, that means you gotta be buff. No. You can work out and still like maintain weight and just be hella lean. You know, like, does that make sense? Does that make sense? And like, I never put two and two together because in high school, women would always be like, you pull hoes, you get hoes. This was before I got hoes. This was when I was a virgin. This was before like I even knew women even liked me for real. Like I knew how to talk to women, but like I ain't know how to pull women. Like, you see what I'm saying? So now I get to college, and you slowly start to realize the more attractive you look, the less women you pull because those women feel intimidated by the way you look. And it makes sense because, okay, like come on, think about it like this: what woman wants their man to be more attractive to them? Like a woman's beauty, you know, like come on, feminine power. No woman wants a nigga more attractive than them. That makes sense, right? So that being said, I'm starting to realize like, damn, the more attractive you are, the less women you do pull. Because women are used to feeling like the prize, but an attractive nigga, such as myself, because I'm gonna call myself attractive, I think I'm attractive, I know I'm attractive, I feel like I can be the prize sometimes. The other women out there that are the prize in my eyes, but for like a large amount of women, especially in my generation and in my age, I know I'm the prize. So that being said, a lot of other women can sense that and be like, oh, that nigga think he all that, I ain't gonna walk up to him. That's what a man should do. It's a crazy world we live out here.
Alright, here's my biggest unpopular opinion. The hottest guys don't get women. Let me explain. Have you ever noticed that the most attractive guys often seem single? Yeah, I think there are different types of handsome, right? There's like ugly, there's handsome, there's gorgeous, and there's drop-dead handsome, right? Think of someone like Brad Pitt. If you're in that drop-dead handsome category, chances are you're actually kind of intimidating women. They might assume you already have a girlfriend, or that you wouldn't even be interested in someone like that. Because they fear rejection. They often hold you back from approaching you. They often hold back from it, you know what I mean? Women love to flirt with men whenever they can, but usually with guys they feel like they can easily win over. Don't get me wrong, really handsome guys do get approached sometimes, but often by women who might be way below their league, like really ugly. Those women who deal with rejection more regularly tend to not be as shy about it. So if you notice that women rarely come up to you, even though you see them checking you out at the bar, or at the restaurants, or whatever it may be, it just might mean that you're even hotter than you think. Take it from someone who knows.
Bro, the easiest way to tell you that you're real attractive as a man if you really don't pull much females. The reason for this is because a lot of females think you a player. They already look at you like you already got a lot of options. You feel me? And this is the same reason maybe if you know when you go out to girls, you may get their number, you may get their Snapchat or Instagram, but they do not text you back. And the reason for this, bro, is because why would they get in a relationship with a guy that they want to set themselves up for failure? They want to get their heart broken. Why would they do that? And you gotta understand this, bro. Girls mentally already deal with stuff when they break up. You feel me? So the reason why they not texting you back or they might don't call you first, you know what I'm saying, is because they cannot even be viewing. They don't even be viewing your story. They can be muting your stories, bro. Like they go to that level. And they're doing all this, bro, on purpose, bro, because they think you're gonna play them, bro. Like, they don't want to get played. And the guys, bro, that got multiple girls, bro, they're getting played, bro. Girls do not care about them. They using them for their money. Like, come on. And they clout, bro. They, like, bro, come on, bro. They using them for a lot of things, bro. So if you're looking for, like, a high-value woman, bro, most of the times, bro, they're gonna think you're a player, bro. They're gonna think you got a lot of girls. What I'm saying is, bro, always, like, just because a girl rejects you, don't look at your story, don't text you, don't do nothing, that means just having the mindset that I'm just attractive. I'm an attractive guy. She think I got a lot of girls.
So as we listen to those clips, I know you guys have pretty much heard what they was pretty much saying, the points they was trying to make. And they all really has one thing in common, pretty much one common denominator. And we always talk about the intimidation factor, right? So how about we just go ahead on and talk about the intimidation factor first, and then we're going to get into what I really think is the bulk of it really is, more so for ourselves. So just to get into the intimidation factor, the first one will be that some women will be afraid to interact with you based on their nervousness because they find you so attractive, and that any interaction with you will be kind of like scary for them. They're kind of scared to have interactions with you. That is a normal human interaction. That is a normal interaction for them to have. They have a crush on a guy and they see a guy who's so attractive. They find him very attractive. It's very normal for a woman to get too nervous to speak to them. And even if you try to go talk to them, it can be like bad for them because they'll kind of try to run away or try to avoid the interaction. That is some ways that the intimidation factor can be a blockade for you as an attractive man to get the women, because they're so busy running away from you because of their own nervousness that you can't really have an adequate conversation with you. This has been displayed in cartoons. This has been displayed in regular shows like reality shows, all kind of stuff like that, and in real life, of course, in real life. But since you guys watch a lot of TV, a lot of programs and stuff, we all grew up as kids and watch a lot of these shows. Like, we've seen how these things play out. So okay, that's one part of the intimidation factor. There's another part that some women don't think that they're good enough for you. There'll be some women that actually think that you're out of your league, and as crazy as that sounds, yes, there are women that think that you're out of their league, and they probably just don't want to try. They automatically like cancel themselves out because they feel like, dang man, they measure themselves up against you, and they feel like the type of caliber of women that they feel like you can get look better than them. Because I remember what I told you guys, that women always compare themselves to each other, and they compare themselves to the person that they potential mate, or men that they'll probably come into contact with, or or whatever like that, in those type of social environment, social situations, right? So if they feel like you can pull a caliber of woman that looks prettier than them or that looks better than them, they probably don't feel like they even have a chance in the running. So they'll automatically cancel themselves out. You yourself, as an attractive man, you can be like, dang, this woman's my type. But to her, she's blocking herself because of her perception of what she feels like you can pull, which is better than her. So she'll feel like you're out of her league, leading to the next point of them thinking that you have too many options, thinking that you're a player and stuff like that. And they'll think that you will play them, right? Because of their perceived notion of you having so many options, they'll feel like, like I said, they don't feel like they're good enough for you, and they feel like, they're just gonna be a number. They don't want to be part of the groupie group and stuff like that, right? And then you have they'll think that you'll play them. Some of them are so like afraid to get into it with you because they'll feel like their feelings will get involved very quickly because of their high attraction for you, and they feel like they'll probably end up in an emotional bind with you. That is a real thing. A lot of women will avoid that because they know how you are, but they'll all automatically think that you won't want to commit. In a lot of cases, you probably won't because you have your options, but you never know. That's a perceived notion. You might be ready to settle down. You probably ready to done to playing the field and all that. But in their heads, they feeling like, since you got so many options, ain't no way he's finna turn that down and turn his player card in for me and all this other stuff like that. So even if you are ready, her own perception is gonna block that from happening. So she's gonna be like, no, I'm not gonna deal with that, because if I get emotionally involved, I know he's not gonna want to settle down and all this other stuff. Like, it really be like a lot of internal conflict they have with themselves as well. This is something that you ain't even got nothing to do with. So the intimidation factor can be a blockade with all of this, right? So one of the ways that you can get them over this intimidation factor when it comes to you, because there is a way to help get over this type thing. It doesn't always work all the time, but I feel like this the best way is to set them at ease with your presence. You see what I'm saying? So like, for the girls that are very nervous around you, be like, dang, this girl, she won't want to talk to me, but I know she like me because she always checking me out and stuff. The best way to do that is really just to showcase your personality, like talk to them and like kind of like put them at ease with your presence, because that's a way that, because on the flip side, for me, when I was scared to talk to really beautiful women, what really helped me out better was when I was actually interacting with them more. I started seeing more of their personality instead of sitting from the outside in looking like, damn, she's so fine, but she won't talk to me. I'm just sitting there making a whole bunch of assumptions about how I feel like this woman's character is based on how I perceive her because of her looks, and I don't even get to know her. So when I end up getting to know her personality, she's actually a pretty cool person. That actually set me at ease and got me to look over her beauty. This is when I was like, letting the beauty be a blockade to me. So letting them get to know your personality and stuff like that. It's cool. You can joke with them a little bit, you just set them at ease a little bit. Stop, and then don't come off as like extra stuck up, because sometimes they'll feel like, oh, you stuck up and all that. Now, I'm not saying that you got to go up and talk to them like, oh, I'm not like that and stuff like that, but just showing them your personality. You got the room, you got the leverage, you got the leeway to actually show your personality, joke with them a little bit as well, but at the same time they can respect you. That's the whole thing with this. Like, they just got to know how you are when you're serious, and how you are when you're actually joking around. That's how you get the respect, and at the same time you're not looked at as a goofy, but you can you still have the respect as a man, but you can joke at the same time. You're emotionally balanced, and you don't have to walk around like the Terminator all the time. You know what I'm saying? So you don't always have to be like on your masculine frame, because they know that, okay, yeah, I have a level of respect and I have things that I stand for. I'm a man. But then at the same time, you can joke around as well, and you have the leeway to actually be joking, because, like I say, as an attractive man, you're gonna get away with a lot of stuff anyway. So you can get away with saying jokes and doing all this other stuff, and even doing little awkward things as well. So even if you think your personality ain't all that and this and that, bro, I'm telling you, there's a lot of stuff you can get away with as an attractive man that a lot of other guys just can't get away with. So you got the leeway and you got the leverage to be able to showcase your personality more in these aspects type deal. You see what I mean? So like, let's set them at ease with your presence. Even give them some compliments and stuff like that as well. You can do that as well. Go up to a woman, tell them you're attractive, because at the end of the day, when it's coming from an attractive man, that shit don't matter. All this validation stuff, that stuff doesn't matter. The rules that it plays against you and all that stuff, that don't matter when it comes to you. You see what I'm saying? None of that stuff matters, because coming from you, that's valuable. You see what I'm saying? That's value when it comes from you. You see what I'm saying? So when that kind of thing comes from an attractive man, it's not seen as like wimpy. It's not seen as unattractive. It's not seen as creepy and all that other stuff. You don't have to play by the same rules as those guys have to play by. Understand that? So that's why, like, even in cases of things that y'all would normally think is simping, would literally be the total opposite when they view you as an attractive man. So understand that, man. Like, yeah, we don't play by the same rules as the other guys. You know what I mean? So to get that out the way, now let's get to the real point. The real thing that I think is keeping attractive men from not getting a lot of women is self-sabotage, bro. And I'm gonna tell you this right here. Self-sabotage is probably the biggest reason right here. The ability to get women's attention does not equal the ability to actually get the woman. You understand that? Let me repeat that one more time. The ability to get women's attention does not equal the ability to actually get the woman. So a lot of us, we get caught up in that and be like, okay, yeah, we can get the choosing signals and stuff like that. And that's, for a long time I was stuck in this actual place of just being like, oh yeah, I can get their attention, I can get them to turn their heads, I can get them to look at me and lust and all this other stuff. But at the end of the day, that doesn't always equal the ability to just get the woman, because when you notice those things and you don't know how to capitalize, nothing happens. So that also contributes to you not getting a lot of women, because you can see the cues all you want to. You can see that, oh yeah, these women, they checking me out. But that's as far as it goes. And for a while, I was just satisfied with just getting the signals and getting, them checking me out and stuff, but not making a move on it. You see what I mean? Not making a move on it, you won't get anywhere with it. You see what I mean? So that right there is really going to hold you back, just by just noticing it and not really making a move on it, being socially awkward. And what I mean by like socially awkward, you won't really speak to them. You don't really know how to make things happen when you see the situation, like just going up and talking and just trying to like progress things in that sense. A lot of people, like, they're like probably like introverted and stuff like that. So of course, yeah, you won't, even in the inbox this can happen. You don't really know how to like make things happen, go to the next step. You can have them heart eyeing your stories, you can have them hearting your stuff and liking your stuff and saying, oh, you look fine and all this, but how do you progress from that? And having some type of social skills, you still need to be able to make that next step, because having them lusting over you and all this other stuff, even if they try to come and make the first move, you still have to come halfway with them to a certain degree anyway. You still have to socialize, you still have to talk. You see what I mean? You can't really get around like actual communication. They say communication runs the nation. But you know what I'm saying? But that's the main thing. You still have to be able to communicate. And then a lot of men probably have a fear of actually talking to women as well. Probably don't know how to make it happen. Like you see chicks, you be like, damn, they checking me out, but you still got that nervousness around. This really happened for a lot of guys that just wasn't really socialized with women. Probably just made their transformation. Probably finally getting the signals and all that, but you still haven't conquered the social aspect of it yet. You still haven't gotten used to talking to chicks. Period. So you looking like this Adonis, you looking like this guy that they want, but you scared to talk to him. So that can even make them disappointed as well. I've disappointed a lot of women like that, like by not like talking to them, because in their head they take it as a rejection. Remember, everything you do as an attractive man and they view you as an attractive man comes off as 10 times like harder. You see what I'm saying? Time is 10x with that. With that, you see what I mean? It's not a normal interaction. They look at it like this. It's almost like you trying to talk to a beautiful chick. If she diss you versus a chick that you see as average diss you, there's gonna be two total different ways that's perceived by you as an attractive man. You see what I'm saying? You're gonna be thinking like, dang man, this bad chick and diss me and stuff like that. It's gonna hit harder when she diss you as opposed to when the girl that you don't see as attractive diss you. So like looking at it like that, you gotta understand like, yeah, they gonna take it that way because you not really capitalizing on the situation. So yeah, even though as an attractive man, women will put themselves in the vicinity and like, try to get you to talk to them and stuff like that. Some of them might even come up and talk to you. Like it is very like rare, and I'm put like this, like in the majority of situations, it's rare for a chick to actually just walk up on you and just talk to you. Most of it, the overwhelming majority of the woman's choosing signals and how they make their move on you is going to be like passively. It's going to be like subtly, something like that. Now, some of them will make it very obvious. Some of them step harder than others, but for the main point, they're not just going to walk up like guys do. In the majority of cases, what I'm saying. In the majority of cases, it does happen, but in the overwhelming majority of cases, most women were not going to just put down on you like how we put down on women. It just ain't happening. You see what I'm saying? No matter how much they want you, but like the main way they're gonna do it, they're gonna put themselves in your vicinity and all this other stuff. But even if they do that, you still have to be able to make the move. That's the point I'm getting to. That's the whole point I'm getting to. So being able to make that move and not being able to capitalize on that and be able to progress from that is what's really going to stop you from getting a lot of money, even though they want you. So that's another form of self-sabotage right there. Now let me get into something that's even deeper, that a lot of guys got to get over themselves, and you got to drop your ego for this now. You got to drop your ego for this, because what happened is you'll get soaked up into this juice of getting these choosing signals from beautiful women, like, yeah, I got this woman, I got these women and stuff like that. Then you start to slip into something called entitlement block. This is what I call it. This is what I'm calling it. I'm coining this entitlement block. And what that is when you have an overinflated sense of entitlement, because you want every chick to just like come up to you, and you feel like you're too good to cold approach chicks and stuff like that, or you feel like you're too good to ask a woman on a date and stuff like that. Like when you get to the point when you're like an entitlement block, that is another huge thing that's going to stop you from getting a lot of women as an attractive man, because a lot of women just not finna just walk up to you and talk to you no matter how good they think you look. They'll stare at you all night. They'll look at you. They'll make up the signs. A lot of them will probably come around you, bump into you and stuff like that. They'll do little passive stuff, but if you ain't making no moves on it, and if you ain't progressing with it, a lot of times a lot of this stuff ain't gonna happen. Now some women are bold enough to come up and talk to you, but oh, you fine and stuff like that, but even then, like I said, if you don't know how to progress things from there, you still ain't really finna go nowhere. They can make it as easy as possible, but if you still got to progress things, you still have to communicate. And having the entitlement block and overinflated sense of entitlement will block you by thinking like, man, she ain't coming up to talk to me, I ain't gonna talk to them. And that could have been a chick that's like head over heels for you. She just nervous and stuff like that. But your overinflated sense of entitlement is blocking you from, and your ego is stopping you from just going up and talking to the chick after she gave you strong ass choosing signals. And don't hide behind the cope of saying like, oh, what if she playing games? You won't be able to find that shit out unless you go and talk to the chick. You got to stop hiding behind that. You got to stop being in fear of that. You can tell that right off the bat. And the more that you converse with women and stuff like that, and the more that you have experiences and stuff like that, you'll be able to pick that apart. You'll be able to pick up on that very easily, fairly easily. So worrying about that all the time, that you don't have to worry about that. You'll be able to pick it up on so fast you can just walk off on it as soon as you sense it. So hide behind that I ain't trying to hear all that. So yeah, you feel like you can only get like choosing signals, and like they have to come up and talk to you and stuff like that. That sense of entitlement is going to stop you from getting a lot of women, because a lot of women just not finna walk up on you. They're just not finna do that. They'll heart your stuff, and they'll want you to inbox them, and stuff like that. When it comes to online and in person, they're gonna want you to come up and make the move. That is what we're supposed to do as men anyway. But with the cold approaching thing, like you see a woman that you want, you can't be too good enough to be like, oh, she ain't give me no choosing signals. But if you walk up to her, you never know. You know what I'm saying? You might just talk to her, she might see you, and you be like, okay, yeah, she looking at you, she's starting to check it. You're not too good to cold approach and check it. You see something you want, you can go and try to talk to her. Now if you talking to her and she giving you iffy energy, like, okay, yeah, like what you doing here and all that shit, okay, you can walk off. But if you see something you want, you be like, yeah, I'm finna walk up on it, I'm gonna put down on it. You not too good, because you never know, that could turn into something good. You see what I'm saying? Like, she might just be a person that just be to herself, and she might have checked you out. She might have been like, yeah, you look good, but she might be a little antisocial herself. You never know. But she might talk to you and spark up, and she might turn into motor mouth. You just don't know. So you blocking your way by, like, if you want something, just go and try to talk to it. Even if she ain't giving you some choosing signals sometimes. So don't hide behind the thing of saying, oh, only if I get choosing signals, I'm only going to talk to women. I'm wasting my. It's not a waste of time, bro. This only happens within 1 to 3 minutes of your time or whatever. You talk to her, you can tell when you picking up on iffy energy. If she not interested and she give you that energy, like one word responses and stuff like that, and like she's trying to conclude it, and ain't really seem interested in the conversation and your rap, then just walk off. Okay, you have a nice day. Leave it at that. That don't take that much time. So stop hiding behind the cope of saying that, oh man, I ain't finna talk to him. They ain't give me no choosing signals or nothing like that, bro. You're not too good to just go after what you want. There's nothing wrong with that, bro. And there's nothing wrong with asking a woman on a date either. That doesn't mean you have to spend a substantial amount of money. Don't mean you got to spend any money. They say, hey, let's go for a walk in the park. Let's go get some ice cream, something like that. You can do stuff like that as a attractive man. You see what I'm saying? You could do stuff like that because your looks are currency. You can get away with shit like that. You see what I mean? So, like, don't be too good to ask a woman on a date, even after you get choosing signals and stuff like that. Be like, oh, I ain't doing it unless she coming back home with me, unless she doing this and like that. Just stop blocking yourself. Spend some time actually get to know some people, because you never know. Some people can actually be crazy. So that's what you can vet them while you talking to them on a date or something like that. Every chick ain't got to go straight to the bedroom right after you talk to them. You see what I mean? Like, even if that is your intention to do, like, just get to know them a little bit, get to know something. You still want to know who you dealing with. Because, like, some people are crazy out here. You just don't know what won't be on a lot of people's mind. So it's certain things you can find out just by having a simple, like, date and, talking to them. So don't block yourself with this entitlement, overinflated sense of entitlement, because you feel like you're just such an attractive man that, oh, yeah, they only going to come to me and this and that like that. You'll miss out on a huge majority of women that would have given you the chance to, to get with them and stuff like that. And that's not saying that, oh, you got to be worthy and all this other stuff and all that. It's just saying, like, you just really just leaving a lot off the table that you just really just could be getting. You see what I mean? Like, it's not even stuff that you really got to go out your way to do. This is what I'm saying. Like, this is simple stuff. Like, women showing interest, man, you just saying, okay, she ain't walking up and talking to me, so I'm assuming she not interested. That's entitlement block. And you're blocking yourself. You see what I'm saying? So you literally cop blocking yourself. But anyway, I just wanted to give you some things of why attractive men don't get a lot of women. And I feel like, yes, the intimidation factor does play into it, but a lot of it is self-sabotage because of those reasons that I just mentioned. Anyway, it's your boy Noto back in these YouTube streets, because your boy will not miss a beat. And remember, guys, anybody, and I mean anybody, can improve themselves if they're willing to work at it. I'm out.
I'm about it in person, ain't really the type to go running and jump on the internet. I come like a virus, take over the system, and then I appear like a public threat. Might call up a bitch and then have a record, I'm not bumping my shit while she get me neck. Don't get it fucked up, cause I do hit the gym and I know that she digging my silhouette. I really don't fuck with too many, my trust hate to say it, I'm just keeping that shit a stack. Cause if niggas try me, I get unpredictable, fuck it, I get to just seeing black. You mess with the fam, I'ma hit you with 10 with a little switch cheese, I ain't talking Mac. But I ain't no killer, don't push me to sand up against the wall, try to touch my back. Yeah, bitch, I'm glad smooth. I'm dropping bars fresh out the penitentiary. And yeah, I put them on. They acting grand niggas and lost memory. So